Alright guys, so like I promised, I wanted to give you guys a better update video on what's going on with this car right now. So just to touch base on a few things, this car does have a lot of suspension modifications. It's got chassis stiffening modifications, chassis support modifications. It's got a rear mount radiator, an angle kit on it built by SLR, Sean Love down in Florida. It's got ESR wheels on it, spacers, different things like that, over fenders, flares on top of over fenders. We get a little extreme down here in SoCal. Fiberglass hood, obviously had some issues, went ahead and yeah, let it speak for itself. But this year for the power plant, we're going to go with the LQ4 engine. Now, reasons behind going with this motor over a BMW turbo engine or a BMW V8 is that when something goes out on this car, I can find, for the most part, I can find all the parts that I would need at an AutoZone and O'Reilly's. Something that's this motor is just relatively easy to find parts for. Now, if a gasket goes out, if an injector fails, coil fails, water pump, thermostat, whatever parts go out on this, usually you can go to AutoZone and just find all kinds of parts. And we're trying to build this motor right the first time so that we don't have issues like that, but it's bound to happen when we push these cars as hard as we push them. But as long as it's easy to fix, it makes really good horsepower, really reliable horsepower. We're hoping to make with this particular motor roughly like low 400s to mid 400s to the wheel. Now, wheel horsepower is a lot different than crank horsepower, and wheel horsepower is what you really want. Now, if you can get 400 wheel horsepower, you got yourself a really good setup. Okay, so I'm trying to get this car as competitive as I can get it for the Top Drift series, the Pro-Am series that we're running in this year in 2016. Happy New Year's, by the way. If you guys have any more questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to make a video on them. If you guys get some really good questions, I'll absolutely make a video on it and try to run you down on what we do and how we do it and why we do it, kind of thing. And maybe some tips and tricks in there also. But leave your questions in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get to them. Stay tuned, guys. This year's going to be sick.